Alright, well, I have successfully contorted myself and manipulated my shape like human origami in order to get underneath here to get all these wires on this nitrous plate. So we can, have nitrous. It's going good. I'm not quite sure if I can get out of here. I feel like I have become one with this position, and frankly, it's very painful. So I'm hoping that's not really the case. But if I can manage to get out of here at some point, I'm going to try and show you what I got going on here. So just bear with me. Oh, Jesus Christ, Christmas trees. Alright, so me and the little lady have been wiring stuff all over this place, right? Actually, every wire in this car, she has cut and spliced and stuff. Yeah, good job. But you're never going to believe it. Listen. You hear that? That's the solenoid going off. Oh, this one. So, she is all wired up. Let me show you that, well, it works, okay? That's all I can say. It's dark outside, so excuse the lighting. I am just going to, well, I'm going to turn on the light here in a second, but we just got to make this really clear, okay? This is not the ideal way to do it. No, not even close, right? Is this the ideal way to do it?
No.
No. But it's the way we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we just needed it done.
Yeah.
And sometimes needing something done, not having the funds to actually get the different color wires, and well, it's okay. It works though. You heard it. It works. So let me show you exactly how we went about wiring it, and you can wire yours accordingly on how you're supposed to do it. Just don't mind that we did it sort of not right. Okay, so first off, the solenoids. We got 3 solenoids: fuel, nitrous, and purge. Okay. Now we took one wire from all 3 of those and we routed it up here. Okay, route them up here. You see all these connectors, right? And we're taking all of our power from here, basically directly from the battery. Okay, all 3 solenoids are just directly hooked to the battery right now. Our switches are actually switching to ground. Okay, so that's what all this mess is. Now here's sort of the not the best part, right? We have all of our grounds. Okay, this wire coming around here, the blue wire is coming off, black wire from that solenoid is coming out. All 3 of those wires are going inside the car, okay? And these wires are actually our grounds. And the ground is coming and grounding right to the body of the car, right here on the hood hinge. Notice that the grounds are red wires. I know. Look, it was $11 a piece, and I wasn't going to buy 2 spools, one red, one black, right now. I just don't have that kind of funds right now to be worrying about color matching. I know what's what, and when the engine comes out, all this is getting redone and being done right. So, frankly, this is just mock-up, essentially, until the new motor goes in. Alright. Now underneath the dash. Okay, so our wires come in from up top there, and then it all gets, well, it gets into this mess here, alright? So let me just show you what we got going. We got the wire coming in, going to this switch, okay? Then this switch, another wire, comes and it wraps underneath here, going to this switch, okay? And then that goes back out to our ground on the hood hinge, okay? So it's just from the solenoid to this switch, and another wire from this switch to this switch, and then from this switch out to the ground, because we want to activate this switch before we activate this solenoid. Kind of the same thing going on with the next one too. The purge valve. Oh, and both solenoids are hooked right here, okay? So when I do that, that activates both the nitrous and the fuel same time. Now this one is the purge solenoid. That's on a separate circuit. Comes in, goes into this switch, goes from this switch to this button, and from this button out to the ground. Okay? Very, very simple. That's it. That's it. We got one wire going from the solenoid directly to the battery, essentially. Then the other wire, which we're switching that wire, we're switching the ground wire instead of the positive wire. It's a little easier on the switches. And you're not bringing like power inside the cab. So then the ground, we're going from the solenoid to the switch on the switch panel. Then from the switch on the switch panel to the, for the actual nitrous now, to the switch on the shifter stick. Then from the switch on the shifter stick out to the ground. And same thing with the purge from the solenoid to the switch to the button to the ground. That's it. Super easy. I mean, it's a lot of routing and whatnot, but it's super easy. Yeah, okay. I know what you're thinking right now. Where's the fuse? You know, where's the relays, fuses, all that? No, don't have any. Really? I mean, those switches, O'Reilly switches, chances are, if anything goes wrong, that switch is going to fail. You know, far before, you know, anything would happen, like a dead short or anything, that switch would pretty much, you know, be kaput. And really the only power is going from the solenoid directly to the battery, you know, without the switches activated. So there's not much wire there at all. Yes, you're supposed to have a fuse in there, right? Safety, concern, whatnot. Just not right now. That's, like I said, do as we say, not as we do, because it's, you know, I don't really do many fuses on anything, really. The fans don't even have a fuse going to it, so yeah. And then for the actual fuel, we just have our T going directly to the fuel solenoid, right off the main, right?
Yes.
Yes. Then for the nitrous, we have this one nitrous line going into the cab. That nitrous line goes to the nitrous gauge. Then from the gauge, the other hose is going to come back to the back seat, where we're going to, you know, mount it back there once I get my carburetor box out of the way. Hello. That is how all that's going to work. And then the only last thing we have is the purge valve itself. Just this copper wire coming out right there, and that's where the nitrous will get vented out of when we're purging the line of all the air. That's the entire nitrous system as a whole. Now really, I mean, the wiring was nothing hard, as you can see, you know, especially the way I did it. So why was I hesitating so long to do it? Well, you saw it right at the beginning. I was trying to crawl myself underneath there to do no way. It just, my back already hurts, right? Okay. So that's the nitrous done. I mean, all I have to do is I have to call up the Nitrous Express, or actually, yeah, it's a Nitrous Express kit. I have to call them up and ask them what size jets to put where for how much horsepower, because I don't have that memorized. And the charts online are kind of dubious. I kind of been looking it up online, but no charts will tell you the exact same thing, it seems like. So I'm just going to get it straight from the horse's mouth itself. So once I know how much power I am injecting into this thing, then we can actually, well, test it, right? It'll be good. Oh, that, and I need I need a male to male, you know, just a connector, because that nitrous gauge, the nitrous gauge and the line going to the bottle, they're both female ends, so I need to go and get a coupler connector to connect the two female ends together. Otherwise, that's it. That's all there is to it for the nitrous. Exciting stuff. Now on to the other projects we got going on, right? That we're actually making headway with. Cylinder heads. I finally have an exhaust gasket. So I can see exactly how much material I can take off the exhaust ports, because I want to raise the exhaust ports. So check that out. You can see I got quite a bit of meat up here that I can actually raise the exhaust port. I got quite a bit of meat down here though. I'm not going to do anything down here obviously, but it's just kind of curious to see how much meat's down here versus the actual header, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm not going to widen it to the gasket perfectly down here. I'm going to taper it to the gasket up here. So, because I really don't need any more airflow down here, all of it's up here anyway, so it's going to be more trapezoidal in shape. I'm going to leave this alone, and I'm going to taper it and widen it to match this gasket up here, is the plan. Now let me show you what it's like on the exhaust, the actual header, at least the header I have in here anyway. As you can see, round, you know, oval ports here with a square gasket, but, you know, kind of take a look in here. We got a lip down here on the bottom, obviously. Depending on where we have the gasket position, there's a little slop here, right? So we got to watch out for that. Up on the top, we have a bit of a little tiny bit of a lip up here too. So really, I mean, we could actually go even further with this, raising the roof, because, well, you know, you gotta clean all this up anyway. So you could clean a little bit of this stuff up, and I mean, yeah, you got a little bit of meat here. I mean, you can always lay in a weld up here if you had to actually clean that up. But, you know, gasket matching the actual headers is going to be an important part to this whole process too, is what I'm learning here. Possibly even gasket matching the gasket, or port matching the gasket itself too, because I feel like there's, you know, it's a lot of wiggle room with all this here. So yeah, so good progress on that. We actually have something to go off now, so I can go more buck wild on it. I kind of stalled out because I didn't have the tools. Now I have the tools, but then I didn't have the measurements, the actual guide to where to go with it. Got that now, so that's good. Then, last but not least, right? Nick McMinn package finally arrived. Not finally, I mean, it arrived at right when it was supposed to, but, you know, we has her, right? We has her. Okay, let's open her up and see what we got, right? Naturally, we need something to open it with. So, you know, Bowie knife for the win. So let's see what we got here without, ooh, he got this thing all kinds of taped up. Okay, got that going on. Well, you know, I did my best trying to be delicate. Let's just get her done, right? We have instruments and the means to just get her going. So let's just do her. There. Bowie knife. Okay. Oh, yes. We have pistons. Check them out. Oh my god, they even have rings on them. We're not going to use those ones, but yes. So we just got to get these bad boys all cleaned up. And then, oh, it's got the little dot there. Okay. Then we will be ready to assemble our short block. Well, we got to get them cleaned up and, oh good, they have the pins in them still. Put the rods on. So that should be plenty good. Awesome. I believe they are forged, is kind of what I was... Ford. I wonder if there's a way to tell. Oh, there's a number in there. What's up, Sweetums?
Here. I found this on these.
Oh, cool. I don't need it right now, but thank you. Oh, there's a number in here. So we should be able to find out what they are. I do believe they're forged, though. Just kind of the way that it is, the way that she looks. So awesome. Thank you yet again. You know, I keep thanking you, Nick McMinn, because, well, that's very generous of you, you know. And you deserve to be thanked and appreciated for what you've done. Perfect. All right. Well, that's it for now. I'm gonna get this stuff all cleaned up and clean myself up and probably go to bed because it's late, right? But I'll catch you next time. Nitrous. Almost time. God, this shadow. I look like an idiot over here. I should have. There we go. That's the way I should have done it. My lighting is terrible. I'm sorry.